Push, Bimbo. Just a little more. The head is coming. Bimbo replied her, I can't. I can't do this anymore. I am tired. Mama Bisi said to her, you have to, Bimbo. For your child, think of the life you're bringing into this world. Then, Bimbo gave it a final push. The baby came out. Mama Bisi cradled the newborn baby, wiping its face with a clean cloth. She was smiling, saying, it is a girl, Bimbo, a beautiful girl. Bimbo looks at her daughter, a flicker of fear in her eyes, and she said to Mama Bisi, what will they say? Mama Bisi replied her with a concerned face, don't worry about them now. Focus on getting your strength back. Many years ago, in the village of Lipede, there lived a young beautiful girl named Bimbo. She was loved and admired by all the villagers. But the love of the villagers suddenly disappeared when she brought shame upon herself. One fateful day, she went to fetch water in the village well, backing her baby girl named Folake. Iya Shade is one of the women also fetching water in the stream. When they saw her approaching, she started gossiping about her. She said to the other women standing beside her, lowering her voice, Mama Neka, have you seen Bimbo lately? Mama Neka replied her, ah, poor girl, such a shame. What really happened? Iya Shade, with her eyes widely open, said to Mama Neka, shame indeed, giving birth in her father's house without a husband. What would the ancestors say? Bimbo approached them and greeted them. Good morning, everyone. Everyone stared at her and her baby. Mama Neka, forcing a smile, replied her, good morning, Bimbo. Such a beautiful child you have there. Iya Shade interrupted her, saying, beautiful, maybe, but who knows who the father is? Child of a nobody. Bimbo stared at her with tears rolling down her cheek. She couldn't even utter a word. 8 years later, Folake grew into a beautiful young girl. One day, in the village square, other children plays a game of tag. Folake watches from the sideline, longing to join in. When one of the children notices Folake and asked her, why aren't you playing, Folake? She replied the child, looking down, I am not allowed. Why not? The child asked her. Folake whispered to her, they bully me and they say I don't have a father. The girl replied her rudely, they are right. Though, are you not a child of nobody? The other children break out in laughter. Folake ran away, tears streaming down her face. She rushes down to Baba Ayo, her grandfather. What brings you here, child? Baba Ayo asked her. She said to him, I wanted to ask you something. Baba Ayo asked her to come close. He asked her, what is it, child? Don't be afraid. Folake asked him, is it true? Am I a child of nobody? The question hangs in the air. Baba Ayo's face, mixed with sadness and guilt, said to her, Folake, your mother, she made a mistake. Folake, crying, asked her grandfather, so, does it mean I don't have a father? Baba Ayo said to her, of course, you have a father. Child, it is just that things were complicated back then. But that doesn't make you any less loved. He gently touched her cheek and said to her, you are my granddaughter, Folake, my blood, and I will always be here for you, no matter what anyone says. The next day, Bimbo and Folake went to the market square, bustling with activities as Bimbo and Folake navigate the cloud. Iya Shade, out of nowhere, stands in front of them, blocking their path. and said to them, "Look where it is, Bimbo with her unclaimed daughter." Falake fled up and shouted at her, "Leave us alone." Bimbo, her mother, placed a hand on Falake's shoulder and said to her, "Falake, it's okay. Ignore her." Iyashade laughed at her and saying, "Ignore? How can you ignore the truth? A child born out of wedlock, a stain on the village reputation." Falake replied her crying, "It is not my fault. I didn't choose to be born this way." Bimbo backed her child with pride and replied Iyachade, "Falake, my daughter is right. It's time you stop spewing your venom. There is nothing wrong with my child and I." Iyashade snatching a ripe mango from a nearby stall and said to them, "Wrong! You brought shame upon us all. And who knows what kind of man will abandon his own blood?" She threw the mango at Bimbo's feet, the fruit spattering on the dusty ground. The crowd gathers, their face filled with mixture of curiosity and pity. Few months later, Bimbo called a village meeting. The village chief, Chief Adebayo, said to the villagers, "We are gathered here today to address a matter that has caused much discord in our village. Bimbo, you have requested this meeting. Speak your truth." Bimbo takes a deep breath and said to the villagers, "For years, I have been called names, ostracized by the villagers for something I had no control over. But today, I stand before you to reveal the truth about my child's father." Falake asked her mother, "Mama, are you sure about this?" Bimbo, squeezing her heart, said to her, "Falake, it is time. Everyone knows the truth about the man who abandoned us. He isn't just a nameless face. He was a respected member of this very community." Bimbo scanned the faces before her gaze finally settling on a man. It was Dele, a prominent farmer known for hard-working nature and booming voice. A noise fell over the gathering. Chief Adebayo, frowning, said to Bimbo, "Are you accusing Dele?" Bimbo, with her voice firm, said, "Yes, Chief. Dele is Falake's father." Shouts and noise filled the hall. Mama Neka stepped forward and said to the villagers, "Bimbo is telling the truth. I saw them together all those years ago. Dele, you can't deny it anymore." Dele remained silent. Chief Adebayo asked him, "Dele, do you have anything to say to this accusation?" Dele's head bowed low. He said, "I was young and foolish. I made a mistake." Chief Adebayo said to him, "A mistake that had a lasting consequences? You not only abandoned your child, but you also brought shame upon your family and the village." The villagers angrily shout among themselves. News of Bimbo's revelation spread like a wildfire throughout the village, splitting the communities into two. Some sides with Bimbo and Falake, condemning Dele for his actions, while others, fueled by tradition and gossip, continue to ostracize them. One of the villagers said, "How could he do this? Shame on him." The second villager, shaking her head, saying, "Bimbo shouldn't have brought this up. Now everybody will talk about it more." Falake crying to her mother, saying to her, "Why can't they just accept me?" Bimbo hugged her tightly and said to her, "Don't listen to them, Falake. You have nothing to be worried about. You have done nothing wrong." Mama Neka approaches them with a concern and said to them, "It is best you and Falake stay with me for a while. Things have gotten too heated." Bimbo nods gratefully and said to her, Thank you, Mama Neka. We appreciate it. At Mama Neka's hut, Folake stared out the window, her silence heavy. Bimbo sits beside her, her mind emboldened with thought. So she said to her, Folake, there is something else you need to know. Folake asked her mother, what is it, Mama? Bimbo takes a deep breath and said to her, there is a reason Daily abandoned us. It wasn't just because he is young and foolish. Folake asked her, what do you mean? Her mother replied her, your father, he wasn't single. He already had a wife and children. The revelation hit Folake like a physical blow. Tears sprang to her eyes. She said, not only did he abandon me, he also had another family. Bimbo hugged her tightly and said to her, I know it's a lot to take in, Folake, but you don't deserve any of this. Why did you tell me before? Folake asked her mother, sobbing. She replied her, I was ashamed, afraid of how you would react. But I realized that keeping this won't make anything better. You deserve to know the whole story. Folake asked her mother, did you ever try to contact him? I mean, my father. Her mother replied her, not directly. I knew his family wouldn't accept those. But I did write him a letter, pouring out my heart, explaining the situation. But I never received a response. Folake said with anger in her eyes, so he didn't even care enough to reply? Her mother, placing a hand on her cheek, said to her, it doesn't define you, Folake. You are strong, kind and intelligent. Don't let him take away that from you. Folake wipes her tears and said to her mother, it won't. But I still want to know more about him, about the family he chose over us. The mother said to her, there is one more thing you need to know. I haven't even told Baba Ayo. Folake asked her mother, what is it again? The mother replied her, the day you were born, I wasn't the only one who gave birth that day. Dele's wife, she also had a child, a son. The revelation hangs heavy in the air. Its implication both shocking and unsettling. Folake stared at her mother. Driven by the newfound curiosity, Folake seeks out Dele's son, a boy named Ayo. She finds him by the stream, boasting to his friends that his father is the best farmer in the village. He can grow anything. Folake approached him and called him Ayo. He turned, his arrogance momentarily fatling at the sight of the girl everyone called child of nobody. He said to her, what do you want? Folake replied him, I just wanted to talk to you. About what? Ayo asked her. She said, my mother told me the day I was born, you were also born. Ayo remained silent and surprised while his friends started laughing, and one of them said to Ayo, don't listen to her, she's just making things up. Ayo defensively said, even if it is what it is, how does that concern me? Folake replied him, it means we are half siblings. Ayo had a mixture of shock and confusion. His friends fall silent, the weight of the truth settling upon them all. The next day, the news of Folake's connection to Ayo spread around the village. Some villagers swayed by Bimbo's honesty and Mama Neka's support, and some began to accept them, while others, still fueled by gossip and tradition, remained hostile. At the village square, the villagers arguing among themselves. One said, shouting, "So, the child of nobody is now a half sister to Ayo. What a scandal." The other villager said, shaking her head, "It is not Folake's fault. She's just a child caught in the middle of all this mess." Folake, defending herself, standing tall in the center of the crowd. "It is not a scandal, it is the truth. And whether you accept it or not, it doesn't change who I am." Iyashade said to her, "Who are you? A child born out of wedlock, with a father who abandoned you, and a half-brother who probably doesn't even want to know you." Falake's face burned with anger, but she takes a deep breath, refusing to be provoked. Chief Adebayo shouted at Iyashade, "Enough, Iyashade! Your words are out of line. We will not tolerate such disrespect." "Folake, you have shown courage in speaking your truth." Folake replied the chief, "Thank you, chief. All I ask is for a change. I want to be treated with respect, just like everyone else in the village." Mama Nneka steps forward and said to the villagers, "Folake is right. We as a community need to learn to forgive and move forward. Let's not hold the sins of the parents against their children." Chief Adebayo said to Mama Nneka, "You speak wisdom. We will not judge Falakes and Ayo for the mistake of their fathers. However, Dele's action cannot be ignored. He will face a penalty for his infidelity and abandoning his child." Few days later, Folake waits by the stream, unsure if Ayo will show up. After a long wait, he appeared and said to Folake, "You wanted to see me." Folake was so happy. She replied him, "Yes, I did. I know things are complicated right now, but I thought maybe you will like to talk." Ayo sits down beside her and said, "I don't know what to say. The whole thing is messed up." Folake replied him, "Yes, it is, but we don't have to deal with it alone." Ayo said to her, "Why are you even talking to me? Everyone thinks you are tainted." Folake replied him, "I am not tainted, neither are you. We are just kids caught in the middle of our parents' mess." Ayo said to her, "I never even knew I had a half-sister." "Me neither. But maybe, just maybe, this can be a good thing. We have each other now." They smiled at each other. Few years later, at the village square, a festive atmosphere fills the air. Folake stands proudly at the front of the crowd, holding a certificate in her hand. Ayo stands at her side. The entire village has gathered to celebrate Folake's achievements. She has received the highest mark in the regional scholarship exams. Chief Adebayo addresses the crowd. He said, "Today, we celebrate not just academic excellence, but also the triumph of a human spirit. Folake has overcome all the challenge and emerged a shining example for us all. She has proven that where you come from doesn't define who you can become. Let this also be a lesson for our community. We must learn to cast aside judging people and embrace acceptance. Only then can we truly strive." Bimbo approaches Folake and Ayo. She said to Folake, "I am very proud of you." Folake thanked her mother and said, "I couldn't have done this without your support." Ayo also said to her, "You deserve it, Folake. You worked really hard." She replied him, "You weren't so bad yourself in the study sections." Ayo, thank you for keeping me focused. Ayo smiled back at her. The awkwardness between them had completely vanished, replaced by a comfortable mutual trust. Then, Chief Adebayo asked Folake to say some few words to the villagers, and she said, "Thank you all for the recognition. It means the world to me. This scholarship is a chance to chase my dreams and wouldn't be here without the support of my mother, my newfound friend and brother Ayo, and the kindness of some of you in this very village. I understand that traditions are important, but also is progress. Let us learn from the past, not be bound by it. Together, we can build a more accepting and understanding community for ourselves and future generations." Folake's speech concludes, and the crowd cheers her up. Then, Chief Adebayo approaches her and told her that her father wants to have a meeting with her. Will Folake meet her father? And if she does, what will they say to each other? What do you think Folake should do? She should give her father a chance? Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video for more captivating African folktale stories. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay updated. Bye.